Hi, we're Laura and Dan. We've bought a beautiful rustic Portuguese barn and have literally zero knowledge of building and farming, but plan on converting it into a beautiful off-grid homestead. Follow us on our journey. Every day that goes by on the homestead, we're making more and more progress. Progress at times can feel slow and disheartening, but we know the main key is just turning up every day and just giving it our best shot. This week on the land, it was time to start making some progress on the barn conversion. This is something that we would have done first, but because of our residency situation, we decided to prioritise other jobs. But we are so excited to restore the original beauty of this abandoned barn into a tiny home.
Not sure how much of that camera there picked up as I was tidying out the barn, but I got the shock of my life. I jumped back, I looked down here and I removed this bit of fabric here, and there's a massive hole there, and I just looked to the side and I just seen this massive snake skin. When I first glanced down, for some reason I thought it was a snake. Joys of living in the country, yeah? Country living they call it.
So the plan this morning is we want to start using the jet wash inside of the barn to spray some of the stuff off the walls. I don't know if you've seen previously, but we've tried chipping it off and that was really difficult, so we're thinking a high power pressure washer is going to be a better job at doing that. We've already used the pressure washer at the outdoor kitchen and we didn't have a lot of water, so we had to keep filling up buckets, so we're going to need a lot more water this morning. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up an IBC, bring the IBC up and use that to power the pressure washer.
For today's job on the land, we have our lovely little assistant Archer. So this is Archer, so we need to set him up. He needs to get his backpack on, but Archer's going to really put the work today on the land. So Archer's got his little jetpack ready. He's got his gun ready. He's ready to get to work on you, Archer. Time to put you to work.
I don't think Henry's going to be chuffed that we've got a new apprentice, but if you're watching, Henry, we still love you. Want to tell the people what you said to me last night?
What did I say to you last night?
You said that I had Greg Ovens hair. I don't think that I've got Greg Ovens hair.
Definitely got Greg Ovens hair. So as Laura says, the first course of action is to fill up the IBC. So what we need to do is I'm going to take the truck at the top of the land, put the IBC in the back of the truck, take it down to the bottom where the well is, fill it up, and we'll have ourselves a mean, lean washer machine. So this is the spare IBC that we're going to use. We haven't actually got around to kind of plumbing this up to catch rainwater, because in the future what we plan to do is off this surface here, off this roof, we plan on using it to catch a lot of the rainwater, which I haven't got around to that. So we've got two spare IBCs, but we'll use this one because it's closest. But it's interesting, I don't know if you can see, because can you see how white this is compared to this? This is completely black and this is white, and that's because in the last few months, which is nuts, this is being exposed to the sun, because obviously the sun comes more at this point, and this is the one that's not exposed. So this is how an IBC cover is meant to look, and this is how it looks in the Portuguese sun.
Lifting the IBC is always a good battle and a laugh. At least we have the trusty old truck now to help us out.
So that's the IBC on the top of the truck now. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it this point at the front. I have to make sure, remember to leave this at the front just in case that we do fill the IBC up too full and it gets to a point where, because I can imagine that the well pump will not be able to pump from a certain point. It'll only be able to pump like at a certain level, so it's probably going to, and the well pump's quite big, so it's probably going to leave about that much water in, and in an IBC I think that will be really heavy. So I think the best thing to do is to leave this at the front so that if it is full we need to take this off the IBC, so we can I can use this point here, open that up and empty the water out when we need to do so that we can actually lift this back off again.
That's a good point, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
With the IBC down the bottom of the land, all that was left to do was to fire up the generator and get to work on filling it up. In she goes. So now it's just time to turn the generator on and fill her up.
See Laura, I love your pulling stance there.
I didn't get as much leverage as I could.
Laura, you were like this, you were like that.
With the IBC eventually filling up and no more mess ups, we carried on. So while we're waiting for the IBC to fill up, we've come over here to check out how our plums are doing. We've got some really good plums on here. Some of them aren't quite ready to pick yet because they're not that deep purple colour, but some of them have been ready and we've tasted a few of them. But I think we're going to have to wait a couple more days for these ones to be ripe because they're a bit purple but they've still got a little bit of a tinge of green in them. We've also got another plum tree over there and their plums still aren't quite ready to harvest, but it's good to kind of come down and see how the fruit's doing. I think we'll have to give this one a couple more days.
Yeah, I think personally I think these plums are nearly ready, mate. I think they need to be harvested in the next couple of days. I think it's an art like with the plums, because it's kind of an art of when to pick them, because if you pick them too early they're not quite right, and then picking them at the right time where the flavours are the best. I mean, I think this one's basically nearly ripe now. Very good. See, it's still a little bit, but it's a good way to test them is to come down, take a bite and test them and find out how far they're away. But some of these on here are very, very close, so I think in the next few days we'll pick one evening when the sun's setting, it's a bit cooler, and we'll come and we'll do a harvest for sure.
With the water over the halfway mark, we decided it would be enough to spray down the barn. So we've got about 550 litres in there, so I think that's a good amount to get the barn sprayed down. So we're just going to take this out, drive the truck up and we're going to start spraying. Dan then had to disconnect the well pump from the well and bring back up some fuel. With the truck backed up close to the barn, we wanted to edge it as close as we could.
But just as we're in the middle of setting up, I just looked down and I saw Laura's feet. Look at those, what are those? She got Jesus sandals on, and it's like in a feet of monkey. That's for off-grid shoes, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't have the appropriate workwear, definitely not. But there's a big...
That's off-grid feet, isn't it? Dirty.
There's a mystery because every time I go down to the bottom of the land, my feet end up like this, and they're clean up until a certain point, and I look away, and then I look down and they're like this, and I don't know what's causing it.
There's a fairy.
There's a dirty...
There's a mud fairy.
Yeah. It's like only at the very bottom, like there's a certain spot where they just seem to get dirty, but I never see it happen. It just appears like that. So we're gonna dip this back in. As you can see, I think we need to detach a hose pipe first before we do that. We need to attach the hose pipe.
Yeah, good point.
Bombs away. Bomba away. Will this fit inside here?
I don't know, maybe didn't think about that.
It might squeeze it.
The well pumps in. All there is to do now is what we're going to do, Laura.
Just got to bloody turn the generator on and that. And I'm gonna psst, psst, psst. So Archer's all set up and ready. Generator's all good to go. Pump's all plugged in. You ready to get started, mate?
I'm ready. I'm ready to get filthy dirty.
You're gonna get absolutely filthy.
This is going to be one of them jobs where I come out looking darker than I already am now.
Yeah. But it's not going to be a tan.
So as Laura said before, the plan is to go around and all around the walls. So what I'm thinking is, for the plan, is I'm going to leave the floor to last, because if I start doing the floor, that's where the majority of the dirt is. It's going to start bringing up loads of stuff. So what I'm going to do is obviously I'm going to start around the walls and the ceiling first, just to give it a good clean, and then we'll see where we're at from there. This is probably something that's going to need a few jobs again, just like the patio, you know. But this is the one that I'm really excited, looking forward to, because I planned this ages ago when back in the UK. Picked up Archer, the new apprentice, and I'm just really excited because I know it's going to be one that you're going to get really messy and dirty, but for some reason I'm just really excited to. It's going to be so satisfying just to go around and blast everything. So the reason how I thought this would be a good idea to do this for is because in the UK have they have bin cleaners, so men go around and clean bins, and they basically how they clean the bins is what they use the IBC, and they use a generator with a pump plugged into that, and then they can go around, dry wherever they want, and wash whatever they need to wash. So it's time to wash the barn now.
So I'm just coming a little while away because it's too loud for you to hear what I'm going to say. But the stones are coming out really nicely. It's blasting off all the dirt that was on the walls, the clay material, and it's showing them up really good. And I think it's a much more efficient method than just chipping it off by hand. That was a very slow and tedious process. But with this, I'm thinking it could all be done, or most of it be done, within an hour or two. So yeah, really good. It's been a really good idea, so super chuffed. At this point, Dan was going at the walls for a while and was trying to say something, but we couldn't really hear each other. Something about being pebble dashed with clay and dirt. Dan was loving this job and starting to make some good progress on the wall and having a good laugh along the way. the stonework started to come out beautifully. And now that Dan had found his stride, there was no stopping him, even with the dirt seeping into his bones.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a really satisfying job, that is. It's probably one of the most, you've got, like, you're basically in there spraying it down, and it's it's everywhere.
Yeah, it looks like a mousy blonde colour.
Does it? It's like you're in there and so you're spraying it down and you're just getting completely rained down. Feels like you're getting rained on by heavy hail. And I'm not gonna lie, it's probably one of the most satisfying jobs that I've ever done on the homestead. It's one of the most messy, but it's obviously it's definitely one of the most satisfying jobs. But the stonework is coming out absolutely exquisite.
Exquisite.
Exquisite. It's absolutely tremendous how good it looks. I'll have a little look while going.
Yeah.
But what I've done so far is I'm picking this out of my hair. I think I'll be picking this out of my teeth for the next 6 weeks. So what I've done so far is I've given it a once over on a few of the walls. I haven't done this one over here. I've started on that wall, but as you can see, it looks really good, and it's really revealing some of the granite stonework. It looks beautiful. It's going to take quite a lot of washes, keep going over it to get all the clay and dirt off. Because as I'm going over it, what I've basically done is I've given it a good once over, got the thickness off, wet it down so it makes it more looser, and then we're just going to have to keep coming back to it, gradually keep going over it again and again and again. And I think what will happen is eventually, like even these stones here where you can see the beautiful granite stone, there's still so much dirt on there because when I take the jet hose on them, they look really beautiful. So I think it's just going to be a gradual process, just kind of keep going over it again and again and constantly working through it. But honestly, I'm so chuffed with how it's coming out. Are you, Laura?
Yeah, it'll come out really nice.
It's
It's
absolutely
like this wall especially, it's like you can see all the smaller ones now, and you can actually see the big blocks that are, I don't know what it's called, like a cutout.
Yeah.
That are around this cutout.
You just start to imagine what it's going to be like when it's all pointed in nicely and stuff now, can't you? It's going to look absolutely amazing.
There's some really nice big stones there that'll be good to point around.
It's looking really good.
Especially on this one as well.
Yeah, definitely. So the generator has stopped working because it's got no more fuel in it. We've run out of fuel, so we're going to have to take a little break. It's breakfast time now anyway, and then we'll have to head in the city and get some more fuel. I was just seeing a Laura there as well, as we're tidying up. I was saying about how some of these pieces of granite stone are absolutely huge. I mean, look at this piece of granite stone here, this one, that one. You've got this one here. This one goes all the way from here. And it's like, I don't know, how much, what is that, that's a metre thick?
Yeah.
It's absolutely massive. I mean, like, the work, the effort and the energy, like, of the men and the people who've, like, built these prior has been, like, top notch, you know what I mean? Like, they was using donkeys probably and pulleys and things like that. But, I mean, one man can't lift that, you know, it's going to take 3 or 4 men to lift one of them stones, maybe more. And a lot of donkeys as well.
Yeah.
But it's just like marveling in like kind of in the past, you know, like the effort and the energy and the love and the attention that's gone into these buildings. Even though they were just for, you know, in the past, I mean, they were just for like the cattle and stuff a lot of the time and storing things. But even so, you know, the love that's gone into them, the attention, it's amazing. I'm
super impressed with how the walls are looking inside the barn. I didn't really think the jet wash would work, to be honest, but I don't know why I didn't think it wouldn't work, but it has. It's worked really well.
Perfect. I don't know why we didn't do it in the first place.
Yeah, we just didn't think. You just don't think. We just expected to just chip it off.
There's loads of jobs on the homestead where you kind of, because I know obviously loads of people give loads of good feedback in the comments and say use this, use that, but you can't think of everything, you know. It's like sometimes you just kind of like get an idea in your mind, or you've learned and watched a video in a certain way of a skill that you've learned, and you think, oh, I'll just use this tool, then you end up finding that there's a better tool for it, you know. It's just kind of, it takes time to learn them skills.
And people often leave those comments after we've done the video as well, so then it's like, oh, I didn't think of that at the time, but you know, it's all learning.
You can't, exactly. We just got to, sometimes you just got to do the job and just got to do what you've got and just get on with it, you know. And at the end of the day, you learn a lot in the process. The job might be harder if you haven't got the tool, but then next time around, you know, you're going to use that thing, you know.
Definitely. So we've still got a little bit of concrete on the walls itself, but we're gonna have to chip that off manually.
Definitely.
But it's got the main of the dust and the dirt out.
Yeah, and also as well, we still need to do the floor, and well, I was going to finish more of the floor, but actually what's happened is the well pumps broke, so I need to try and figure that out in the next few days of like how I can fix it. I've tried a few things on it so far just quickly, but it hasn't solved it. So the well pumps broke, so I'm gonna have to try and mess on and sort that out, and then we should be able to, once we fix it, I should be able to clean out the floor and wash it all out. But I definitely think using the IBC was a really good idea. It's really like it's allowed to have a lot of water up here and wash it all down, and then the water didn't run out. You know, could just crack on for like 3 or 4 hours at a time.
Yeah.
Which I think was really good.
Yeah, it was a good idea.
So hopefully next week I'll have the well pump, fingers crossed, fixed again and working, and then we can get back to clearing all the mud out. And Laura's going to get dirty this time, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'll watch from a distance. I'll do the camera work.
I did like getting dirty, to be fair, though.
Yeah, he was excited for it, so I thought I'll film. But yeah,
We'll leave it there.
yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.
See you next one.
Bye.